All right, we back in the building. Salute to everybody that's here. You already know I'm Blue Devil. And today we back with another video reaction. So look, today's video is coming from Hater World Media Instagram page, posted by C Loco. Salute to C Loco. Well, the clip is of Adam22 crashing out on Swifty Blue. Lucky from HoodStocks, bro. If you guys don't know, Swifty Blue recently went on HoodStocks, and it made noise, bro, because of all the allegations behind Swifty Blue. All the little whispers that this, that, you know, it was hard to believe that he was going to go on a platform like HoodStocks after all the things that not only Lucky said, but all the whispers that were out there of Swifty Blue. All right, well, on that podcast, Swifty Blue said that Adam22 is a culture vulture. He said that Adam22 is bad business. He said that Adam22 this, that, whoop-de-woo, whoop-de-woo. All right, well, it seems like Adam22 caught drift of the video. You know, he probably watched it, and now he crashing out. So what we're going to do is watch the video entirely. It's a clip on Hater World Media, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. But before we do, salute to the squad, salute to the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thursday's show is canceled. No more Thursday show. We are working on a new cast. So stay tuned. We will have info for you coming soon. Other than that, we working, bro. We just did a one-on-one interview with Iron, once of Glock Stars, formerly known Doughboy 909 Glock Stars. We had Iron. He got a mic drop coming, part courtesy of Doe Hunter, and he got a one-on-one interview courtesy of Menace. All right. So if you don't know who that is, you know, part of Little Boy Mikey's camp, bro. Go check that out. And with that being said, let's get straight into the content, bro. Comment, like, subscribe. You guys already know that this format, we're dropping once a day, and then we're doing other content in the other studios, all right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and see what's going on with HoodStocks, Adam22, and Swifty Blue. All right, without further ado, let's press play.
Nobody gives a fuck about going on your janky ass, low rent fucking podcast. You do not have the ability to tell anybody what to do. Nobody is paying attention to you in this way, Lucky. I don't know where you got the idea that you were the type of person that was going to be able to make these sort of calls. But this world that you're describing exists only within the confines of your own fucking dense skull, okay? Lucky's Sureno standings are probably not at their all-time high point, given the fact that he turned down a fade with someone who was very motivated to fight him at that time, which was Bodyface. And also, he's not even Mexican. He's pretending to be Hispanic. He's Russian, I believe.
And fucked Gertie Face and ran off on a bill.
Look, Lucky did that. You're right. Lucky's wife, didn't she run up in the spot while he was fucking girly face?
That's kind of fire,
Lucky,
too, though.
You a cold devil for that one, bro. That's disgusting.
That's kind of fire.
Yeah, it's kind of fire in a way. I'm not gonna lie.
He did the cash out that bitch.
But think about how grimy that is that you have two different podcasters in the LA scene who did content with a pimp just so that they would be able to get a discount on their, what do they say, feet or foots?
Whatever, either one.
I don't know. They're fucking
and Lucky?
Figueroa foot soldiers. So, Lucky, I mean, you are disgusting, honestly. You're 50 years old, banging barely legal prostitutes. Who knows? We need the Lucky files ASAP.
All right. It seems like someone clipped it and they clipped it wrong. But there's another video. That's one video. There's another video of him talking about Swifty Blue, and these go hand in hand, so we're gonna watch them back to back to see what the other one is about. That one, basically, you heard, you know, Lucky banning homies from going on No Jumper. We'll get into that right now, but let's get into the other part, which is Swifty Blue.
Swifty Blue, you are banned from No Jumper. I'm never having you on this podcast again. You're a fucking coward, and I wish that they had stabbed you to death in prison like they were trying to do. But let's get back into this. I don't really mean that, but like, Swifty Blue, you are banned from No Jumper. I'm never having you on this podcast again. You're a fucking coward, and I wish that they had stabbed you to death in prison like they were trying to do. But let's get back into this. I don't really mean that, but like,
Okay, so I guess that's it about the Swifty, right? There was more. I don't know where it went, bro. I think whoever clipped it wrong. But basically, he says, Swifty Blue, you begged me for a job. Swifty Blue, you were in my DM asking for drugs. Swifty Blue, you can't come up back to no jumper. Swifty Blue this, Swifty Blue that. This is why you have to be careful on who you DM and when you DM them, bro, and who you DM, right? It's very important because a lot of these YouTubers, content creators, they're not playing fair, bro. They save receipts, they save conversations, they save footage, they save everything, bro. Okay, you're not safe. So if you're an up and coming YouTuber, content creator, Instagrammer, be careful whose DM you're in, bro, because maybe in the future, if you guys have a fallout or something happens, they will expose you. They will expose you. I don't really get in the DM with nobody except for a few people, bro. Like I'll be talking to like Hawila, salute to Hawila. I'll be talking to like my boy Culture Uncensored. I don't have to worry about that. And I'll be talking the world as we know it, a big dog, big Dom, right? Those are the only people that I really like. Everybody else is like pass through. Like, hey, what's up? Woo, all right, for sure. You know, because, bro, it's like, it's hard to trust anybody. Everyone's recording, bro. You know, everybody. And listen, I've done it. I've recorded convos. Not because I want to, but you guys already know that I'm straight up with you, right? I've only done it one time, 2 times. One time I recorded, I can't tell you who. But I did it because I know the buster shit they're on. I know what they're on. And I already knew that this fool was going to lie and make up shit. So I said, in case this buster ass fool lies about our convo, I got backup. And you don't even know how disgusted I feel, bro, for doing that. How fucking dirty I felt. But you have to in this business, bro, because motherfuckers will tell you one thing to your face. Hey, fool, it's all love. I fuck with you, G. Palabra, wey. Gracias. And then they'll turn around and tell people, oh, I punked them to take shit down. Fool, I got the convo, fool. You were crying. So I never put it out because even putting it out, you look like a snake, right? Unless I do like a Mr. Criminal where I lost my phone, then it'd be different. And the other time, I recorded a dude that I knew was recording me and had already recorded me before and lied on me. So I was like, let me record this fool in case he wants to do that shit again. You know, luckily I never have to pull this out because I've let time heal situations. But I say all that to say this, bro. Everybody's trying to snake you, bro. Bro, I've had people in my building that are trying to snake me with my other co-hosts. That's crazy, bro. Like, I've had people that sit next to me and tell me they fuck with me and they're my friends, and then they're trying to tell my co-host not to fuck with me, or they're trying to tell my co-host to go with them. And I'm just like, wow, you fucking dirtbag, right? So everybody is playing dirty, bro. Everybody is playing dirty. And it sucks when you're a real individual. When you come from a real place, bro, and you really solid and you really stand on your morals and principles, it sucks, bro, because sometimes you got to stoop down to the level of these fucking cowards, bro. Sometimes you got to stoop down to the level of these fucking cowards, homie. You know, it sucks, bro. It sucks. But you got to, homie. You know, but as far as like him and Swifty Blue, he said that Swifty was begging him for a job, whoop-de-woo, and this and that, right? I don't know, bro. We would have to see the receipts, which Adam said he posted them on his Instagram. But remember, bro, Adam says it's begging. Maybe it wasn't begging. Maybe it was just like, hey, fool, you got a job? Like, opening for me? You know, a lot of people make up shit too, you know, like a lot of people make up shit, bro. Like they'll turn something small into something so big. And it's like, wait, it wasn't even that, dog. So if Swifty was begging him for a job, he wasn't robbing or stealing. You know, no andaba de ratero, way. You know what I mean? He was asking for a job rather than fucking begging for money and stealing. He was fucking requiring for a business opportunity. You know, Whatever. I don't see that as being bad, but Adam did say something that was not on this clip. He was like, Swifty, you didn't stand on business. Instead of telling Lucky that we're cool, you let him run the narrative of Adam being a piece of shit. That I stand with Adam, because it's like, if you're cool with somebody, don't let somebody else sway your way of thinking, bro, because you want to be cool with them in the instant, in the moment. Don't be like, well, I'm cool with Opina, but you don't like Opina, so I'm gonna side with you right now. Yeah, fool, fuck Opina, whatever. Not really, but you know what I mean, right? A lot of people are like that, and I think I really feel like Swifty was cool with Adam. He would always go up there. They were doing like the vlogs at the restaurant, So when I saw that little clip as well of Swifty shitting on Adam, I was disappointed. I was like, dog, like, you cool with Adam, dog. Don't let nothing switch up your way or don't let Lucky switch up your way because he don't like Adam. Respectfully, Ayo Lux, you don't fuck with Adam. I respect your opinion, but he's been good to me, bro. He's been good to me, and I want to keep that relationship open because he's never snaked me, bro. So whatever you got going on with him, respectfully, it is what it is. Now, if the powers that be need me to be on your team, then the powers to be got that. But if they don't, then respectfully, I'm going to get mine. But a lot of people don't know how to speak up for themselves, bro. Or they feel like they got to be with the homie. Like, this is the homies. Lucky's a homie, so I'm going to side with the homie. No, bro, no. The homie's not always going to be right. The homie ain't going to feed you. The homie ain't going to give you a place to live. The homie ain't going to put money in your pocket. The homie ain't going to do none of that, bro. You got to get what's yours and what you got coming for your hard work wherever you got to get it at, bro. Because I guarantee you, bro, if Lucky had a business opportunity and they told him, hey, you got to cut off Swifty, like this. And I don't want to speak on what ifs because we don't know. But in the case of 99.9% of people, to get a bag, they would cut people off, bro. Maybe he won't. And you know what? I'm going to take that back because maybe he won't. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to take that back. I don't want to put that on nobody. But it does seem like it. It does seem like it. But, all right. Let's move on to the second video, which was Adam talking about Lucky not allowing homies to go on No Jumper. Let's play it back one more time.
Nobody gives a fuck about going on your janky ass, low rent fucking podcast. You do not have the ability to tell anybody what to do. Nobody is paying attention to you in this way, Lucky. I don't know where you got the idea that you were the type of person that was going to be able to make these sort of calls. But this world that you're describing exists only within the confines of your own fucking dense skull, okay? Lucky's Sureno standings are probably not at their all-time high point, given the fact that he turned down a fade with someone who was very motivated to fight him at that time, which was Bodyface. And also, he's not even Mexican. He's pretending to be Hispanic. He's Russian, I believe.
Okay, so look. I was with Adam until he said that. Once Adam said, I don't know about his Sureno standings, that's something that is not up for debate. It is not up to you or me or anybody. It is up to the powers that be and those that are around him from his hood. That's it. Can nobody say lucky this, lucky that, lucky this, lucky that when it comes to his standings in the system or in the streets? That's not up for debate, bro. That's not up for debate. Can't nobody say Blue Devil ain't no good in the hood if you're not from my hood. Can't nobody say Blue Devil ain't good in jail or in prison if you're not one of them guys. And it's that simple. Now, people can talk. People can whisper. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Leave that shit up to the people that want to do the talking and the whispering. And not only that, but if you're not from the life, the cloth, the program, you have zero say in anything, bro, to do with that program. Straight up, bro. And I think Adam overcrossed his boundary right there. Now the podcast thing, right? Like you're not allowed to interview homies if they go to No Jumper, they can't come over here. That's a fucking opinion, bro. Not only is it an opinion, that's Lucky running his business the way he wants to run it. Let that man run whatever he wants, however he wants. If he wants to ruin his business, if he wants to blow it up, if he wants to run his business on morals and standards and this and that, that's up to him, bro. That's his business. He can do what he wants, right? Do I think it's right? Nah. I think you should let everybody do as they please, bro. If the young homies want to go to No Jumper, let them go. If they want to go here, let them go. Now, you could tap into the youngsters and be like, hey, folks, just a heads up. If you go up there, don't let them trick you. Don't let them make you say some shit you shouldn't say. You know, be on your P's and Q's, bro. Everybody's always watching. The big dogs are watching. You know, it's just, you know, keep it to a minimum. You could do that. But instead, it's like anybody that goes up there can't come to me. But then you break it by allowing Swifty Blue to go on your pod, even though he went up there. See, it's like, you could look at this many ways. It's like, are you standing on business, or are you picking and choosing, right? But hey, that ain't enough for me. That's for the fans. That's for the watchers. That's for you guys to dictate, not me. You know, not for me. I'm just a lame podcaster, right? But again, everybody's gonna do what they do. I was with Adam until he started talking about Southside politics. That's one thing I would never side with anybody that's not from the program, regardless if I like you or not. And I fuck with Adam, but he's wrong. He's wrong. You know, yeah, bro. He's definitely wrong. And even people in the chat are saying, look at right here, Local Boy 90042YB. You have no right to talk about what a homie can say and not say. Program is program. Stay in your lane. Facts. Shit, if I had gunshots, I would, pah. Straight up. Very true. But again, this podcast game, bro, is crucial. Everybody's trying to snake everybody. Everybody's trying to diss everybody. Everybody's trying to come up. Everybody's trying to do better. Everybody's trying to do better than the next. That's why I'm on my business. I do what I do. And as soon as we catch a fucking snake, you're out of there, bro. That's why we solid over here, bro. And I'm not saying that HoodStocks is not solid, because I don't know. Now, again, that's up to you guys. Whatever you guys consider that to be. And I mean solid within the confine of the podcast game. You know, I don't mean the streets, because we're not in the streets. We podcasting. We've kept our word. We've kept our end of the bargain. We haven't messed with nobody that's disrespected us. We've done the best to try to stay on a straight fucking path. Big salute to Droops. Big salute to Adam. And with that being said, I'm Blue Devil. Leave your thoughts, your comments, all that bullshit down below, bro. And I got a video dropping later today. Make sure you guys tap in. I'm Blue Devil. Until next time, fuck you.